Hi everyone. Today we are going to discuss about JWT authentication in Angular. Okay. So before going before starting our sample, I want to mention that this entire session has been made as blog. This is my blog regarding Angular JWT authentication. Link will be available under the video in the description. So if you want, you can check the blog as well. So let's jump into creating our sample application. So to create Angular application from CLI, we have to use command like ng new and our application name. I will name it as demo JWT. So for this demo purpose, I am not enabling the strict mode. Okay, for real-time application, please make sure to enable it. And I would like to have routing because I am going to create some modular way. Means we will have multiple modules like homepage one module and login is a separate module and dashboard page is separate module. So I'm going to use routing as well. Here I am going to check to use CSS. You can choose based on your preference. Okay. Now all the packages are get downloaded to create a sample Angular application for us. So sample application is successfully created. Let's open our project in Visual Studio Code Editor. Code, code space dot is shortcut to open Visual Studio Code Editor. Okay, our project has been opened, and if you look into package.json file, the current version, the sample created is 11. This is the latest Angular version. Okay, so for our demo, I have mentioned right, I am going to do some modules. So here I am going to create two modules now. One is login, another one is home page. In my application, home page is in our index page where it will be accessed by either authenticated or non-authenticated user as well. And next login page is for user login. So let's create a modules. So create folder like home and another folder login. Okay. The file structure will be like this. I'm going to create file like home.component.ts. This is my TS file for my home module component file, and next is home.component.html and home.router.module.ts. So this is my this file is for my home module routing, and one more file is home.module.ts. Okay, so there won't be much code in this. I will show the template code how it will look just in a minute. So to save some time, the home module is not much logically implemented. There is not so much logic to implement. I have just defined some message to display when home page is loaded. So I am showing the what is the code required to set up the home module. So you can pause video wherever you want, and you can just copy or say just do as it is in the video clip. So this is our HTML page looks like home component HTML page, and coming to component page, nothing, empty component, nothing is there. Okay, this is a unnecessary line of code. Okay, nothing is there, just a component. And in the router module, you can observe we have created a route, and to that route we have assigned home component, and then we registered our child route module with the routes we have created. Since it is here I am using the lazy load module technique, I need to export the routes from the individual module route. Okay. Next is home module. Home module is nothing but the entire module, this home module, and here we will just import our router home module and the components inside of that home module. So this is the code that I have implemented in the home module. And finally, I registered already routing as well. Like if you observe here, I have implemented lazy loading technique. Okay, so lazy loading, I think you all know, on demand JS will be loaded. Means when you implement lazy load, each module is compiled as a chunks of JS. So those JS will be downloaded from the server only when the component is at least viewed one time. Okay, from next time onwards, it will pick from the browser where already loaded JS. So it is more helpful for performance. So here I am using that lazy loading technique, and uh, in the app component.html, I have removed the existing code and I have rendered the router outlet. This is the default Angular component where the area will display the routed data. So if you access home page, entire home page will be rendered inside of this component. Anything, any page will be rendered inside of this router outlet. So that's all about the home page layout. Now I am going to show the uh, what I can say files inside of our login module. So let me create the files inside for login module. It almost look similar to the home module only, like login.component.html. Okay. Another file is like login.component.ts, my component file. Another file is login.router.module.ts for router module. Okay. Let it be route only. Okay, route module, and finally login.module.ts. Okay, so here what I will do means, let's create like export class component name. Okay, to make it component, we need to decorate it with component that loads from the Angular core library. Core library. So let's create component and let's define template URL. Nothing but our login.component.html. Okay, and now go to login component HTML. Just add a div tag and h3 like login form. For now, just leave like this. And now go to login route module.ts file. Here we are going to define our route for our login. Export class login route module. We need to decorate with ng module to make it as a module that loads from Angular core. Okay, ng module So here we need to define our routes in constant variable routes of type routes. This type loads from Angular router. Okay, it is a array type. Here we can define path. Okay, and component I want to load. So to load my login component, I need to import it. Okay, I want to rectify here. It should be login module file name. Okay, login route module, and let's import our login component and assign that component to our router. Okay, now we need to import imports and import router module. Okay, that loads from also router only. Here we need to register child route and its value is our routes. Okay, since it is a module, right, we need to export a router module. Okay, finally this is our login router module. Now I am going to create login module, export class login module. Okay, import the ng module @angular for ng module. Okay, and here imports. Okay, import our login router module from router module. Okay, and declare all the components inside of our module. I have only one component, right? Login module. Let's import it. Okay, login component. So let's register this login module as well in app routing module. So what I will do, I will create one more path. I can say like login. Okay, I need to no need to import anything. Just create load child. Okay, login slash module. Okay, then login module. I think that's fair enough. Not cynical. Let's test our page. So some error. Just remove this slash from the path. Just login is enough. So here I can see my home page. Now I will navigate to login page. See my login page. So now I have created two modules that each module render each page like home page and landing page. Before going any further, let's add a small menu to our page so that we can easily navigate from one page to another page. For that, what I will do, I am going to install Bootstrap. Okay. So here what I will do, I will simply copy the CSS link of the Bootstrap and paste it in the index.html page. Okay, but in real time we can configure nicely the Bootstrap as well into the Angular module only, so that those styles will be compiled within the Angular module. For demo purpose, what I am doing, I am simply pasting the link in index.html page. Okay, for demo purpose it is fine. Okay, now I want to have a menu, so let's search like navigation bar, copy this and open our app.component.html file, paste here. Here I am going to trim some HTML which I don't need. So after trimming, my nav bar looks like this. So here I want to use router link. Here I am going to use home page. So let's get rid of this hrefs and add here router link and make it as login and get rid of this href and login. Okay, let's check our page. See, I have no menu here. So let me click home page, login page, home page, login page. Okay, menu is fine. Now I am going to create a small Bootstrap form into my login form where user can enter his credential to authenticate into our application. So let's check for form. In here in overview only, copy this and open our login.component.html and paste here, and I will remove this. For this demo purpose, I am not validating username and password. Please make sure when you are coding for your project that need to be live, please add validations. So here, and I'm going to change this as txt username or here, and also txt password here, and change this name to login. Okay. Okay. Now I am going to use model binder to uh, extract the data from my form. So for that, in login component.ts file, I am going to create a object like login data. It contains username, initially empty, pass, password. Okay, this is my login data. I want to use model binding to interact with my HTML view. So to do model binding, what I can do, I can use ng model. Okay, username. Similarly for password, what I can say ng model login data dot password. Now I want to register a method for this click button so that I can invoke the logic for the login. So for that, first I going to create a method in login component like user login. Okay, this is my method. For now, what I am going to do, just I will console the login data object. Okay, console log. I will register this method to my button click event. So registered click, and okay. Since we are using ng module, right? We need to import form module into our module. What is our module? Our module is login module. So let's import Angular form module. Forms, form module. Let's import it into modules, and let's check our output. See, now I have a login form. Let me enter some anything since I haven't implemented any validations, right? So let's check it. Console. Login data is not defined. Okay. So here some spelling typo mistake. No, this dot. Okay, let's try again. If ng module is used with form tag, either name attribute must be set or the form control must be standalone in the ng. Okay, I need to assign some HTML name attributes. I can name like username and one name attribute like code. Okay, let's do it again. Let's test. Okay, now we are able to console our user logged in data. Okay, and up to now we have set up basic form and it's invoking the login method. Now we need to go for the JWT authentication. Before going to JWT authentication, what we need a endpoint where we can post our data to the server, right? So that on successful validation of user credentials, that same endpoint will return us access token and refresh token. Now we need to set up a server project like either Java or .NET or Node or Nest.js, any JWT implemented server project. So instead of deviating completely into another project, I want to do almost all the JWT workflow process without deviating from this Angular project. What I want to do here is I will take a one access token that is build up of JWT rules so that I can use that access token, okay, in our application as a constant variable, okay. Instead of calling the JWT for our understanding purpose, I am doing this, okay. Real time we should never do like this, okay. What I will do, I will assign a constant variable like JWT token, and I will do all the workflow of our login. Once we have successfully implemented almost some 80% of our logic, then what I will do, I replace that constant value with the original JWT endpoint so that we will have a clear idea what we will do. So for that, I will go to my blog. I have mentioned some fake constant variable. So this is the constant variable. If you want, you can copy from here from my blog. So I'm going to copy from here. So before copying this, we need to have a service, right? Because whether in the latter step, anyway we are going to use the JWT API, right? So to do all the user authentication logics like storing, saving, all kind of things, for that we are going to create one service called Auth Service. Since this service need to be loaded to entire our application because it is related to authentication, right? What I will do, I am going to create it in the shared folder. For that, what I will do, I will create a shared. Okay. Inside of it, I am going to create services. Inside of that, I'm going to create a file like auth.service.ts. Okay. This is our service file. Here I am going to implement my logic. So let's first create a skeleton for our service file. Export auth service class auth service. Okay. Since it is a service, right? Need to be decorated with the injectable so that it can be injected anywhere of our application. For that, I need to import a decorator injectable. Okay. In this auth service, I am going to create a variable of type behavior subject. So this behavior subject of variable will be registered in every component inside of our application to fetch or to listen for the user information. Okay. Like I will name as user info of type behavior subject. It loads from the RxJS. It is an observable. Okay. I will for now, for demo purpose, I will mention it as any, and initially I will give null value to it. Okay. So this is my variable where I can use this variable in all other components to retrieve the user information. Okay. Next thing we need to do, we need to create a method for user login. Okay. I said right, currently we don't use API call. So for now we are going to mock our JWT access token. So let create access token and I will copy from my blog. Okay, is that correct? Yes. This is my JWT token and I am going to mock access token also. Sorry, refresh token. Let's say dummy. Because refresh token functionality will be directly used from will be implemented after integrating the API only. So for now, you can use any dummy character, right? Let's think like we have called our API and we got access token and refresh token. Okay. Next, first step, what we have to do means we need to store our access token and refresh token into the local store browser because we need to save it right somewhere. Generally, tokens will be saved into the uh, local browser local storage so that when the user reopens or closes and opens the application, the state of user will not be changed because we will fetch from the local store browser. Okay. Further, so let's save our access token, refresh token, access token, and refresh token into our local storage by using the local storage and set item. So my key to store access token is access hyphen underscore token, and I'm going to pass my access token here. And next thing is local storage dot set item. Here I am going to store the refresh token. Okay, so that's it. Second step is done. What is my first step? Fetching the access token data. Second step is for persistent store. we need to save it in the local storage. Okay. Now to make them available to our entire application, we need to save this value to my user info object, so that my application will access them. Okay. For that, what I will do, I will create data, const data, and like access token. Okay. Access token I am going to assign, refresh token I am going to assign. Okay, this is my data. I am going to save it in the user info. Since it is a user info is observable, right? To push the data into it, we need to use next method. So by hitting this line, wherever we will subscribe this user info in entire our application, there all those components will get the fresh data whenever it is updated. So that is the benefit of using the observable. Observable nothing but those will observe when will the data will when will data will be delivered to them. Okay, but this is very limited data. There is nothing data that related to user, like his name or something like his ID or any further more information we don't have here, right? Okay, so what we have to do in that case, either we need to call a one API if our API to fetch the all user information, or else we can decrypt this JWT access token. Actually, JWT access token is a encrypted string which contains user information and user clients as well. So for to get minimum basic information about user, we can use this JWT token data only by decrypting it. For decrypting, there are a lot of different libraries. So here I am using one such library like let me go here. One such library is like Auth0 Angular JWT. This library will help us to decrypt our JWT access token. So let me copy this. Okay. Go to our Visual Studio Code and install it. Then another terminal. Let me install it. So the plugin has been installed. To use it, let's import it. Import from @auth0 JWT, and it is like JWT helper service. Okay, let's create a object for helper service. JWT helper equal to new JWT helper service. Okay, now what I will do here, I am going to constant decrypted user equal to JWT helper dot decode token method. So here we need to pass our access token. Okay. Now what I will do to know the properties that we are going to get from this decrypted user, I am going to console log it. Okay, for now. Okay, decrypt user. The decrypt user. Okay. So we are going to console log the decrypted user. Then what I will do, I am going to use this method into my login component so that we can see what is the output here. But before doing that, we need to register our auth service into app module because it should be available for everything, right? So I am going to register it in the app module. So from, okay, shared service, auth service, auth service. Okay, what I am going to do in the providers, I am going to provide auth service. Okay, now I am going to inject into my login component.ts file. Okay, let's import here. Import from, okay, shared service auth module, auth service, constructor, private, auth service, auth service. Here I am going to call my user login auth service method. This dot auth service dot uh, user login. Okay. Okay. Now I can see the decoded properties of my JWT token. Okay. Let's reload it. Type something. So typing also we can test, but type something and check it in the console. See, this is here you can see another object like username test sub nothing but user ID expiration. This is the token expiration in millisecond. This object is printing from my auth service. Where is my auth service? This line of code is printing. Okay. So from this, we can grab the properties that are required to maintain in our application as the user information. What I can grab expiration time, I can grab user ID, I can grab username. So let's grab them and create it inside of this object so that user info will have all those properties. So username like decrypted user. Okay. Next one, I can assign. What is another property? Sub. Sub is nothing but user ID. I can name it as user ID. Okay. Decrypted user dot sub. Token expiration that will comes from exp. In few endpoints, expiration date will come as another property from the API itself. Means Jwt Authentication API returns refresh token, access token, expiration date as well explicitly. Here it is coming as a one of the user claim. Okay, this is the data I am going to store it in the user info. Okay, what I will do here, I want this method is to receive the user information, right? Like user payload means nothing but username and password. For now, what I will do console.log here user payload. When we replace with real-time JWT endpoint, this payload will be used as our post data. So in login component, what I will do, component cs, let's remove here console and login data. Okay, here I will return alert message like user logged in successfully. Okay, now just reload and enter something and here enter something and hit. See, I am able to show user is logged in successfully. I want to show one more thing like now we are able to save our fake access token and refresh token into our local browser store. See my access token and my refresh token expiration as well. Am I saving this expiration? No. But from where it is coming? Okay. Okay. See, here is my access token and refresh token. So if you close application also, they will stay in the local storage only. When we open our application, they still lives under our local browser store, browser local storage. So this video I am stopping here because video becomes so lengthy. In the next video, what I am going to explain is I am going to explain like now we have token, right? I am going to create another page module like this home page and login only, another page like dashboard page where I can only show that page when the user is login. On that page, I am going to show some user information, login user information by fetching from this variable, okay, into the dashboard page. And later, I will replace this fake fake access token with real JWT endpoint using some server, okay. Replace this JWT token, and then next I'm going to implement the routing auth guards. How to restrict the user from the routing means if you see here, I am still able to login page, right? Because either it is mocked data or not, I have login information where it is application. Still I am having login information in local storage. At that time, we should not show login form, right? We should not show this page. Either it should be navigated to some other like dashboard we want to create. So like that, to guard our routes, we need to write Angular routing guards. That concept also will be explained in the next video. Okay. So that's it about the introduction for this JWT token implementation in Angular application. If you like my video, please do subscribe to my channel. We will meet you again with new videos. Until then, signing off.